Look at that. Sorry, I don't think I got the GoPro on in time. Oh my goodness. Look at that sucker. What? All right, I don't know how much time I got left, but that is a heck of a trout. Again, we're going to start out in almost the same way in every video. I'm just going to come in behind the gill plate and make that diagonal cut. That's how I like to do it, right? So I'm going to come in here. Good gracious. And I'm going to come and get right behind that gill plate, and you can kind of come up a little bit here. Also, good point. Really good point about this is making sure to put the fish on ice. So if you don't ice the fish down for a good while, they won't be real stiff, and they can be very difficult to work with if they're still warm, right? So you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble by getting an iced fish. I mean, this thing is so thick, it's insane. The skin is like thick. I can't even get hardly a knife through it. I'm gonna have to sharpen this knife. This thing is a slab. Now, one thing I've noticed is I've got to start being more honest in my videos, because apparently I'm telling fibs every time I catch a fish. They are never as big as I thought they were. So I've got to be more careful about my guesses in the field. Either they're losing a lot of weight in the ice chest, or I'm just not that good at guessing. Okay, so again, we're just running down that line, and we're gonna try to run down the backbone as best we can. Golly, I mean, just beautiful. So the difference between the trout and some of the other fish is there's just extra bones. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I'll have to look it up, but I don't know. Ooh. I mean, this thing, it's like a salmon. I'm telling you. This fish is not as big as I thought he was after I measure him, for sure. But let me tell you what. This is one of the thickest trout I've ever had to clean. So again, they just have some trouble. I mean, here's a better view probably of what I'm doing. It's that rib cage, right? Anytime you're messing with that rib cage, it's a pain. It's a booger in a fish, right? Obviously, the thicker the fish, kind of the easier. So it's really a booger for the smaller fish, like the little panfish and stuff. But the bigger the fish is, the easier it is to get over it. And pretty much that's it. Now, I think I've said this in the other videos as well, that so typically with trout, I'll leave the skin on because I'm going to smoke them. So here is just a line of pin bones, and there's just not a whole lot that you're going to be able to do with it. This is so thick. I mean, look at that thing. That's a huge piece of meat. So in most cases, you could just leave them in there and just eat around it whenever you smoke the meat. Here, so you can't even see them all out. It just depends. This is a big enough piece of meat that I'm not going to do that. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is a continuation of the catch and cook. So real quick, I'm going to show you how I make the my salmon recipe. I'm almost like don't want to give this up because it's just so good. But this is actually trout, but this will work for trout or salmon. So I typically smoke it, but So you'll see the before and after, because I already smoked one because I'm trying to hurry up for dinner, but I haven't finished the other one yet. So without further ado, you get you a piece of salmon. Bada bing, bada boom. You get you some garlic powder. It doesn't matter what you put on it, as long as you put garlic powder on it. That's my experience. Is I start out, I put a light coating of garlic powder on there. Then I'll take a little bit of Tony's and do a little shake of Tony's. Do a little shake of Tony's and just a light coating. After that, I just take some brown sugar and just a little bit will do. So I just put like a little bit like that. I don't know how much that is. I don't really measure it. I just look at like how much it typically is. So I put that little bit of brown sugar, as you can see, and then I just take and I rub it on there and finish it off, right? So I just make sure it's smoothed out. So smooth that brown sugar out. All right. Now here you could add several things to it at that point. I think once you get there, you're doing pretty good. I like to just get up here and I'll run like a bead of this Sweet Baby Ray's teriyaki. And I have found that if I try to use other teriyaki sauce, I don't feel like it comes out as good. And there you go. After that, this will go on the grill. It'll go on the grill at about 200 degrees until it looks like this. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick all that up, but what I'm looking for is that sort of that white fat kind of sweat out of the meat, and as soon as it starts to look like that, I take it off. So here we'll take a little piece off, and you can see it's cooked, but it's not cooked too much. So it's cooked, but it's not cooked too much. It's still very pink in the middle. It's very juicy, very sweet, very good. All right, thanks a lot for liking, sharing, subscribing, and that is basically how I fix trout or salmon.